Go High Level Wizard here, and now I'm going to show you literally the entire website builder on Go High Level. What every button means, how to build nice websites. I'm talking about everything. I'm going to walk you through step by step so you understand all the little hacks, all the little tricks to make beautiful websites and make them fast. This is a super in-depth video, so please get your notes out and get ready to begin. Before we jump in though, please, from the bottom of Go High Level Wizard's heart, smash the sub button. Any questions at all, drop a comment down below or message me for free on Facebook. Let's jump right in. Okay, so step number one is going down to sites and basically getting started right here. Really quick though, I want to establish the difference really fast between a website and a funnel. If you don't already know that, just bear with me. I'm gonna breeze through this really fast. A funnel is very much for paid traffic for the most part. It's trying to get users to do something. So click this button, sign up right now. A website, on the other hand, is like a portfolio. It's more for SEO purposes. And that's why what I always say is like websites, SEO, think SEO, funnels, think paid ads. Two different operations, but essentially they're built the same way. A funnel is just a page on a website, and a website is just a bunch of funnels, if you think of it like that. But I just want to make sure that it's understood because it can get a little weird. But let's jump right in and go through every single button so you become a wizard like me on the website builder. Let's hop in. Okay, so we're going to go to websites. Okay. And really the first thing is understanding that there are templates here. You don't got to start from scratch. You're going to pick a template. And I want to say this right now, and the funnels have templates too, but when I first got started, like especially many years ago, they had very few templates and they were terrible. Now they're pretty good and you can add all this stuff. It's become so easy to build websites actually good. Like these actually look good. Like High Level used to be impossible to build websites on. Now it's super easy to do. And yeah, it's literally a joke, but we're going to hop into right here to marketing agency. I'm just picking something random for the sake of the video. Find what you want and you can type in what your niche is. So find plumbers, HVAC, electricians, you plug it in that search bar so you can find it so you know exactly what to do. But what we're going to do here is we're going to hop in and I'm just going to walk you through everything. All right, here we are. We are in the builder. Now I'm literally going to go through all of this, so get ready because I want to make sure this is known. But as always, I like to make this really clear, just the quick inside stuff. This is how you preview your website, so you check your edits. This is how you save, and this is how you publish and make it live. That's very simple. And this is desktop mode versus phone mode, which is mobile view. So those are like some core things that, I think everyone needs to understand. But the first step in going over all of this is going to elements, which is this plus button, and understanding how all of this works, because this is very important and you have to understand the building blocks so you can build the perfect website. So the first thing to understand is sections and rows. This is the literal rubric of all high level. So a row, or this is a section, is basically the block which is put in. So this green thing, this is a section. All right, so I'll show you right here. You put this in right here. I'm just throwing this in. This is basically the first step. It's what all of this is built on. Okay, so you have add row, and then you would add row. So row is basically how many columns within a section. So let's say 2. You now have 2 building blocks to add elements. So always when you're confused or shit's looking weird, always go back to that and understand that there are these building blocks within High Level and everything is built under them. I mean, guys, this is so simple. When I first got started with websites, it was actually rocket science. So you guys are blessed because this is so much simpler. But everything is broken down into these two categories, sections and rows. Then within all of the rows, you have elements, which is all of this stuff. And now brace yourself because I'm about to go through every single one of these. So let's jump right in. So first we have here is headline, all right, which is what you think it is, a headline. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go right over here and I'm going to walk you through what each one of these does. So the first time you can put the headline name, the background color is right here. This would just be for the background of said image, which most of the time you just want it transparent because you don't want to just have a random background there. Opacity, this is basically, let's go back up here. If you have a color, this just basically makes the whole thing see-through. So it's like seeing through stuff. Letter spacing, this will basically be how the letters are spaced. So that's basically just to have the letters put apart. And then you have text align. So this is putting the text on either part of this to move it around. And then down here we have font size, which you make it bigger or smaller, just like that. Font weight, so this is like thin, bold. I mean, basically, if you guys use Microsoft Word or anything like that, this is very much similar to it. This is basically the kind of font you want to use, which you can add that more over here in a second. And then you have the colors for all of this stuff. So it's got colors for, as you see, italic text color, underline text color, and you can just play with it right here. And you wouldn't want to use that, but just like that, it's very simple. You can just add it right there. And then all of these are the same thing where you can just add variations of that on them. And then this is basically the padding of where you want this to go. So you could do 40 and then it pushes it down. See, so you can move every box up to the side. So it's like very simple, very straightforward. Animations, this is just a bunch of stuff that make little animations. I wouldn't recommend using this stuff all the time because sometimes it can get kind of jankety and weird. But that's how you edit all that. Real quick, guys, the templates usually look pretty good as is, so I wouldn't go around changing all this stuff. I'm just showing you so you know where to go to figure all this out. But yeah, just so you understand where it's at, but I would leave it the same for the most part. And then in advanced, because though this will be on a lot of them, you have all these other options. So you have like box shadow, which is basically a shadow on the box, text shadow, which is a shadow over the text, line height. This is basically if you're having multiple paragraphs, it'll kind of push it out. Text transform, this is uppercase, lowercase, capitalized, so it'd be all uppercase, just like in Word doc. Visibility, this is cool. So this is on everything, even sections. These make it visible on mobile or not on mobile. So it's really important to understand that mobile looks different than desktop, so you always want to check them. But these basically are going to show you to make it not visible on one or the other. By the way, this is going to be so golden. I highly recommend you go through this video even twice, because if you can just understand where every button's at and how this works, I'm telling you right now, you will crush. Like this, it becomes so easy once you understand what's going on. And then every kind of section sort of rubric thing has a CSS selector, which is basically a code for said section. So if you wanted to link something from services all the way down to our story, it would have this, and that's where you would link it. So this is like the nomenclature or name for the building block. But that's basically all of the font stuff in one. And we'll go back and text headline, just like in Word doc, it's a smaller thing. Everything exactly the same as the first. It's the same editor. So, simple as that. And then you have paragraph, which is what you think it is, a paragraph, same exact editor for that. So I'm not going to go through it. And then bullet list. This is cool if you have like services or other things you want to label down here, but you can just keep adding them. Same exact thing as before. Don't even got to go through that. It's the exact same thing. Now we have button. Okay, so let's go through button now and go through all of this. Okay, so for button name as always, letter spacing, same thing as before. The letter spacing on said button. Font size, same exact stuff. By the way, guys, you guys are starting to see the pattern. A lot of this stuff has the same building block, the same little thing, just like with the text. You're like, oh, I get that. I understand that. Button align, same thing, where you want it to go. This is actually important. Icon, or no, that icon picker. You can basically pick icons for this. So you could do the Xbox symbol, put it in. Pretty cool, yeah. And you can just search. There's a bunch of them, depending on what you are trying to do. Let me get out of that right now. Why is this there? Perfect. You have the alignment, and then you have color. So you can pop it in like this, make the text blue. Subtext color, that's if you have more text below that. Then you have the same building block, remember, moving it to the side, up, down, forward. The padding, you're starting to understand now. They got a bunch of stuff. And then now you have what's really important is basically, and then this is just, what you want it to say. So you could say, don't click me. So, you know what I mean? That's what you put. But now what's really important is the action. What does the button do? So you can have open up to a pop-up, which I want to show you right now, which is right here, which I'm going to go through later, but I'm actually just going to go through it now because it's very relevant. And you can just fill this out. Just like the rest of it, the rest of this, you have the building blocks, all the stuff on the side, and you just plug it in. But what I recommend is usually having forms attached. By the way, I have a whole other video on forms, and forms are how you basically build out and customize what's a good word? The rubric of the form. So like what you want it to say, all that stuff, and then you can just link it to a form by clicking, add to form, and then like form 0, and then you have a form in here. Super easy, super simple. But that's basically how pop-ups work. Very, very simple like that. Where were we? So that's open to pop-up. Website URL, exactly what you think it is. It's just putting a website in there. So it could be www.amazon.com, whatever website you want. You put it in there, or social media, a URL. And open in new tab means that it won't pop up in this tab. It'll go into a new window. And then we have hide elements. So this is the same thing. It will just hide it if something happens. Show elements, same thing. It'll pick basically what elements you want by selecting through that. Scroll to element. This is really important. So remember we discussed those CSS selectors. You could have this go down to navigation menu, or say they click this button and you want it to go to the reviews. Let's see, scroll to element. Where is reviews? That's somewhere down here. Well, you pick the view. We can even do FAQ, and then it will immediately launch to FAQ. So when they click the button, once you make it live and you preview it, it'll go zip and zip right down to FAQ. So it's actually pretty dope. That can be great. Go to page. This is just selecting a page on the website. So if you want it to go to a contact page, you click this and it immediately goes to a contact page. Empty inner page. This is if you have a page on the website, like a thank you page. Well, this is a thank you page as well. That'll transport, same thing, just getting into page. Link and buy, or any other page you have on said website. So you can pick any website you want. One click up, down, sell product. Okay, this is for if you have products built out. And we'll have a whole video on that too. But that basically will go in and it'll basically kind of be like a funnel almost. And then you have call. So if you have phone numbers tracked, they could click a button. Once they click it, it immediately contacts the number you have. So it just pops into the call. Simple as that. SMS, it'll send a text. Very, very simply. Email address, plug it in, it'll immediately send an email. And last but not least, a membership if you have courses. So it'll immediately pop into a membership login or whatever you want. Then over here we have animations, same thing as before. You guys are starting to get the gist of it. Very simple. And then we just have some basic text transforms, just like you already understand from the other stuff. Then you have the visibility, just like that. I'm going to start breezing through these parts because it's the same on every one, so you're starting to get that. Box shadow, this is if you guys want shadow like that. You see how there's shadow around it. And yeah, just like that, it's all the same thing, and you're starting to see the pattern of it all becoming very similar. And then you just keep, like, once you understand the basic building blocks of how the GHL editor works, you just breeze through it and you're done. Okay, now we're gonna go over here to form. So basically forms, you make them in the form builder, which is on the website tab. I'll actually hop in and show you right now really fast, but I do have a video on that, so go check it out if you're interested, but let me show you real quick. So back in the dashboard, you're just going to come down to sites, and then forms is right here. And you can builder, analyze, and then see who submitted what. Let's hop back to the other one. And with that, once you built out your form in the other section, you literally just click what form you want it to. You just click it, and it literally pops up right there. Simple as that. It's literally so easy. Now let's hop into the next, which is blog posts. In category navigation. So this is really, if you have blog posts, it will just pop the blog posts up like this. Same thing on the side, just as normal. I'm not really a big fan of blogging. I actually think it's kind of like dead unless you already have a big audience, because people just don't read as much anymore. But that's super simple to just plug it in because GHL has a whole blog section, but that would be how you would work the blogs. And then this is navigation for said blog. So now we're moving on into the media, which is images, pictures, and all this good stuff. So you have an image slider, which is basically, and by the way, guys, I'm not building anything right now. I'm just showing you the editor. I'm not just like, oh, like, don't, like, obviously make your shit look good. I'm just throwing stuff in. But the image editor is very basic. You just put your images in. It's got slides, so each image would be a different slide. Very simple as that. You have call to action links. You can make each slide go to a page. Simple as that. And advanced, it's very much the same thing. Editing, fine-tuning the little stuff, and you're good to go. And it's literally that simple. You just plug in your images and have it just like that. Now we're going to go to video. This is exactly what you think it is. It is a video. Now what this means is where the video is hosted, because the video has to be hosted somewhere. So YouTube is the best. Vimeo is paid. Wistia is paid. Custom embed, you can basically take the files and embed them. Do not recommend really any of these. YouTube is the best for this, and then you would just plug in the exact URL, and the video will just pop up like that. So you copy and paste the URL, and you are good to go. And then autoplay just means as soon as someone's on the page, it will play, as opposed to them having to click play, and then adding some basic controls. As simple as that. And then border, same thing. You guys are starting to get the gist. Very simply, just like that. Now, images. This is a big one because the images are very important on websites, but I also want to show you and run you through how to get unlimited images so you can really play around with this. Okay, so when you come to images, it's very much the same thing. You know, you can make the images smaller, taller. I recommend just leaving them and actually editing the image itself. But like that, then same thing as you see before, the image can have an action. You can click it and go somewhere. Animation's very much the same. Advanced, very much the same. It's all the same stuff as last time. Opacity to make the image see-through. But here's what I want to show you. To add images, you're just going to click this, and it will basically pop up. By the way, this is just a little SEO thing. It basically shrinks the files so the website loads faster. So I recommend having that on. But when you click in here, you basically get access to the image library. But here's what's interesting. So you can upload from said database, where if you go on your computer and you have a bunch of images, you can just download them really simply, and it will basically pull them all up. And you can just upload them like that. Or you can use the create using AI, which I don't recommend because it costs money. What I recommend is going to My Media and then going to these, because what these are is free image banks. So if you go to Unsplash, check this out. It's pretty cool. You could type in house, and boom, you have all these free images of houses. It's awesome. Like, and you can type in anything. Cat. You got all these things, cat, and then you have Pixel Bay 2, which is another free one. I mean, it's awesome. You have unlimited free images right here. So a lot of you guys are like, how do I get free images? Like right there. I wouldn't recommend using this because it costs money. Wait till AI actually becomes free. The image thing, it's just because the images aren't that great, and you have to pay for them. So it's like, fuck that. You know, it's useless. But right here, you have all the stuff you would need for free, and you just click this, scroll, get whatever images you want, and then when you want something, you just double click this, boom, nice, beautiful picture of a kitty cat. Simple as that, and you just go through, and any images you want, you follow that same procedure I just showed you, and then you'll be good to go. Simple as that. You have amazing images, like your fingertips, and then you just edit them, and you just keep building out that website. Okay, now let's move on to FAQs, which are frequently asked questions. These are important for SEO purposes. Very simple. You just come in here and you add whatever your FAQs would be. Same thing as always. You just pick how you kind of want these to look. Advanced, same thing as always. Is just editing the little bits. So like you can put an icon on these, simple stuff like that. So you can add that little extra layer. You just fiddle around with it, add whatever you want. But what I recommend with FAQs, if you're ever confused, is go to ChatGPT, type in give me FAQs for blank, 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 put in the details, and then you can just copy paste a bunch of FAQs. Super simple, super easy to do. ChatGPT always will guide you properly, but it's really that simple. You just get them, unless a business already has them, you just copy and paste, put them in, and it is simple as that. And what happens with FAQs is like when they open them up, it then has an image and then explains what it is. So it could be like, what are your business hours? That would be the FAQ. And then the answer, because it's question and answer, the answer would be from 9 to 10, blah, 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 blah. So, yep, just plug them in just like that and you'll be good to go. Okay, now we're going into the custom section. So you can have like code. And actually, I'm going to show you something really cool with this because a lot of people are just like, yeah, whatever code. I'm not a coder. I'm not. But you actually are with AI. So I want to show you something pretty cool. If you're ever confused or you ever want little tweaks to your website or something that's not loading properly, you can go to ChatGPT and have it make you code. So let me quickly show you this because I think you'll like it. And I'm telling you, when you're in a pickle, sometimes a little bit of code just is perfect. So let me show you. Okay, so we're in ChatGPT right now. So this is what I'm going to ask it. Please give me a square box that's green for my website. Make it out of custom, and you guys can take note of this, HTML and CSS. CSS is the design part, HTML is the building block. Together they make something pretty, like a website. I would stay away from JavaScript and Python and all this other shit because it gets kind of complicated. But boom, check this out. You're a coder overnight. Okay, I'm just going to combine these. By the way, this is not a coding class. I'm just showing you some basic stuff to make you a coder overnight. And you would click this. You would click Open Code Editor. I would click Paste. I would click Save. And then let's check your work. So I actually just realized I have to actually publish this and make this live in order to check that out. So ignore that. You can edit stuff and check it out when it's just in regular, but because I'm not actually building this, I don't have that part set up. But you get the basic gist of just copy and pasting from ChatGPT and plugging it in and checking it out. But it's pretty cool. And yeah, you can definitely use that and utilize that by following what I did with the code editor. So you know, have a little bit of code there. Not making you a coding wizard or anything, but it's pretty cool because you can go from knowing nothing to actually knowing some stuff. Okay, survey. This is what you think it is, a survey. If you want to know where the surveys are at, let me quickly show you because you can build one out for customer care purposes and a million other things. Let's hop into HighLevel and let me show you where it's at. So to access surveys, you'll come down to sites. Boom, you have surveys, settings, forms. You can build them out, make them cool, make them pretty. And just like that, you now have a survey. So that's how you would basically add that. Remember, same thing on the side. You're kind of picking up the gist here. Now, calendars. So the thing is I have a whole video on calendars. I have like a lot of videos on all this stuff. So go check it out if you're like, how do I do calendars? Because that's a whole ass other video. If I were to show you every single piece of this video, would be like a week long. So what you're going to want to do is go and build out said calendar and then plug it in. And then all you have to do is click this and it'll link right to your calendar, and your calendar will pre-populate on the page. It'll look beautiful, look simple. But if you're looking how to do calendars, I have a full video on that, so go check it out so you understand how to do it. But that part is relatively simple. Map, this is great for SEO purposes. So you basically link the map. Where would you do? Yeah, open the search box. You basically plug in the URL, and that can be great for SEO purposes. Make sure you definitely do that. That just remains the same, but that's huge because when you do that, that can really help target that location, especially for local SEO. Really important. You want to plug that SEO in because it looks good. SVG, these are basically vector files. They're basically just files. That's all it is, and you can check the SVG one. You can upload them. It's just like the images. You can find a bank of them. They're like icons. That's all an SVG is. It's like flat images, PNGs. You just plug that in. And simple as that, you're good to go. That'd look good if you're trying to do little stuff. Reviews, these are great. So you can enable, where is it? Let me find that again. You can basically plug in any reviews from Google here, anything like that. Very simple. You can create review widgets or you can just copy and paste them. Looks pretty damn good. Same thing over there. Very simple. That always looks good on websites because you need some social proof. Countdown, this is if you're having some sort of special discount, so you can put hours, minutes. You would do it right here. You would just add what you want it to say, what time zone, and never all the custom stuff is just like before. You edit it, make it look pretty, and then it'll give you a timer of how this kind of stuff works. Where are we? And then these are basically just minute timer, day timer. It's like different versions of a countdown. Navigation menu. This is basically for you have a header and a footer. I will actually quickly explain that. A footer is on every single page of a website, and it looks just like this. Basic contact info, and a header is basically a navigation menu. That's just adding another navigation menu if you need that. Divider, where did I put that? Let me show you what this is. Divider is just a simple line. You can make it thicker. You can make it shorter. You can do whatever you want. You can make it fat. You just add whatever you want, so you can divide up sections. Looks pretty cool. Then you have progress bar. So this is basically checking, how far something is coming, or if you have a course coming out, how soon it's going to be done, whatever. Image feature. This is basically just some text with a feature. Same thing as always. You just plug it in, customize how you want, and then you are good to go. And then social icons. This is great because you can just plug in where you want your social stuff. So you would just come right here. Click this, add the URL, so add your Facebook, new window, or in this window, have it pop up, and then you have access to all of those. These are really important because the footers almost always have these because it's good for SEO purposes, and then you would just plug it in. Simple as that, and then you will have your social icons. And then two-step order, this is really for funnels, but this is basically getting a contact thing, and so it's basically like, if they come in and they order something, there would be a thank you page. That'll be a 2-step or a 3-step or whatever you're going through. And those 3 are just for that. So you can basically add them in and have that confirmation if this is a funnel or whatnot. But this is a website, so it's different. But that concludes all of this. So it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. You have access to all of these things. And that's really the building blocks of a website. And like I said, if you're a little confused, watch that part again, because now we're going to move on to the other things up here. Okay, so now we move on to layers. Basically what this is all of the sections, commons, rows, all this shit. And this is great if you're having trouble accessing stuff. If you have a big ass website, you would come here where you can find basically the layout of the map of the website. So you see where everything's at. And then this is how you would just find, okay, this is where that's at. This is where this is at. This is mobile. This is desktop. Simple as that. And then basically you have pages. One thing I do want to say really fast that I really want to make clear with website design and really any tech stuff in general, do not think you're going to be a pro by going through this one time. Like you got to check off planet Earth if that's how you think, because that's not how anything works. You don't just get on a bike as a kid and start doing wheelies and riding without, using the handlebar. It's not the way that works. It takes time. So if you're a little shaky when you first do this, totally okay, totally normal. It took me a while to learn this. But if you just stay consistent and you understand this and you learn it, a lot of money will be yours. It's that simple. You just have to get through a little bit of discomfort, understand this, and it works. And people will say stuff to me like, I'm not good with tech. I'm tech afraid or tech stupid. Like, newsflash, we all are. We're all mentally handicapped when it comes to this stuff. There's a saying, a Chinese saying, it says, everything is hard before it becomes easy. And it's so true. It's gonna take time. It's not just gonna be this simple, you pop out and you're amazing. It's how everything is. Everyone struggles with tech until you learn it. But here's the thing that's different. Once you start dialing in tech and you understand these basic stuff, it carries over to other tech. So you just go, oh, this must be like website design. I just have to play with it. And then you learn everything. So simple as that. We have pages. This is just like before. Give me a second. Where you can add all of the pages you have. Real quick, let me take you back and show you something on the first page when you're getting into this to understand how to access pages. And you can access it right here, but I want to show you something else because I think this will help you a lot. So if you come down to sites, you go to websites, marketing agency. Let's click this right here. Right here, you have access to all the pages. So to edit, you edit right here or edit a new tab and it'll pop up a new tab. And then to view it, you just click this. So preview link takes you to the page where you can preview said website and then you're good to go. Where was that? And then that way you can edit all of the pages right here and then also add new pages. So that's how you're going to do all of the pages stuff. It is very simple. It is very straightforward. And then over here, you can also see that so you understand exactly where all this is. But while we're at it, I'm just going to run you through these real quick because I guarantee you're going to want to know what this is. And if you're running ads or any sort of metric, you want to look at any sort of metric, it'll be right here under stats. Sales, very much for products and whatnot to see how much you're selling. Security, making sure if you add any security code, anything like that. Events is basically any sort of event you create or anything like that. And then you have the basic settings, which is picking your domain, which we will go over last, the path, which is the URL, adding any tracking code for advertising, and any other stuff over here to make sure that your website is good, clean, and it looks great. Speaking of tracking code, right here is how you add tracking code. This is for ads. You can just Google kind of how this works, but if you were running Facebook ads, you would put tracking code on the website to see how this stuff goes through. So it's very much if you're running ads, you're going to want to copy and paste and put that on. And it can be very handy if you are running a lot of ads. Custom CSS, same thing as before I went over before. You can use ChatGPT to plug in. This is really important too. I want to just make a little point here with websites. Sometimes there'll be weird issues, like some scroll issue or like what is going on? Like this looks weird and you can't figure it out. What I often recommend, and I think a lot of people just don't know how to do this, is a little shortcut, is go to ChatGPT. You can copy the code from the website or ask it, give me the right code in the up here in the header or wherever to make that go away. And you just have to specify the problem. So it's doing a weird scroll thing and ChatGPT will give you the right code to deal with that. And back in the day, I used to go in Reddit forums, Quora forums, be like, how do I do this? And it would take hours. Now ChatGPT can find the problem, what's breaking on the code. Because by the way, all websites are just code at the end of the day. It's like human beings are made of molecules, same shit. You go one step further and it's just a bunch of code. And that's all these websites are. And that's basically how you would get the code so you can make sure that if you find something wrong with it, you can fix it and then add it. And then, you're not dealing with problems later on. One last thing on code. If you do want to see the code or you ever need to copy it, go to the website page, right click, Okay, so right click just like this, go all the way down to view page source, click that, and boom, you have all the code you could ever want. So this is a website right here. This is what the website looks like under the hood, just code. But that's little hacks you can check to make sure like, oh, I can see this. It's also good just to know where this stuff is. I'm not saying you got to read all this shit because this is a whole nother language, but this does help to know where things are. So in the event that you do need to check out some code or figure something out, that's how you access it. Let's hop into the next section. Okay, now we have topography, which is just picking the overall fonts for the website, and you can pick how you want it. You can search any more ones. It's very simple. The text colors, so you want everything to be yellow, just like you see down there. And this is more for global, kind of like everything on the website. But we kind of already went over that in this sidebar, so it all kind of makes sense. Background, this is if you want one massive image overlaying the background, or if you want to change the color background of the website. So you can do this. I would just say real quick, guys, if you're new to website design, stick with white or like very light colors. People do weird stuff like this or that, and just like, oh, it's disgusting. It's going to turn everyone off. But that's how you do that. Pop-up settings, we already went over that. You already know how to do that. You're already a boss. SEO metadata. Okay. A little bit of SEO now. And this is a little hack because if you basically just fill this out quickly, what can happen is you can also tell people that you did SEO and a website, which much better. But basically what all of this is the metadata, which is called, and this is for websites, it's called on-page SEO. A lot of people mix these up. They go, oh, SEO. SEO is not just everything. Okay. It's like it being very specific to what it is. That's like saying a car. Well, a car could mean electric car, a gas car, a diesel car, a water-powered car. You get what I'm saying. You got to be specific, and you would plug in the basics of what this is so it ranks better on Google. And I'm going to show you what some of this stuff is on a page so you understand. But you want to put the title, so put the title of the page, the description of the page. You're going to want to have describing what the page is, keywords, put what the page is about. So this would be plumbing or marketing agency, whatever it is. The author, put what the name is of who owns the company, a social image, slap in their logo, and you'll be good to go. But let me quickly hop in Google and show you what this stuff is, because you've seen it before. You just may not know what I'm talking about. Let's hop in and let me show you. So we're in Google, plumber near me. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is the metadata. And then the keywords are behind the scenes. So you've seen these before. So check this out. This right here, what you see right here, is the title. So you could have it be, "We are stupid." It could literally be something like that. And please don't do that. You want to have a keyword and a location. You want to make it look professional. But I'm saying you can really add whatever you want. And that is what that looks like. That's how they do that. So if you didn't know that, it's a pretty cool little trick because you can see exactly how they do that. And that's how you get ranked better, because it tells Google what you want. By the way, if you don't fill this out, Google just gives you what it thinks best, which sometimes is good, but sometimes it's also horrible. So you want to just kind of plug this in. So right there, you have, and by the way, this is not website design. This is on-page SEO, so this is a little different, but I thought I would just show you, give a little more free value. You know what I mean? Show you how it's done. But that's basically the title. The description is this. So that is the description. So then you can plug that in and then you're good to go. And then keywords is whatever you put in. And then image, let me see if any of these have an image. Boom, that's an ad. But sometimes they'll have an image and that's just adding it right there. So that's how you do the SEO metadata. I know that was a little bit shorter. And if you want to message me on Facebook and ask me more questions about that more in depth, that's how you basically do that. Preview custom codes. What the freak just happened there? That's just for, I don't know why I just did that. But that's to put, if you have any code in the header or anything like that, you can add it so you can basically have extra upgrades to your website. But let me hop back in. Okay. And then you have cookie consent. This is basically, let me just explain if you don't know what a cookie is. Every website has them. It's basically a bit of data that tracks them, where they came from, their user, a bunch of little stuff, so it has data to know to save their browser, to save your logins. You can enable this if you want. You don't have to, but a lot of people do like to do that because it's just sort of a little sort of thing you do to be more transparent. But that's just to understand that. And then basically this is two-column mode. I don't know why it's not loading, or auto, which basically just plugs everything in like that. It's just a way to view the page different. And then right here too, this is another way to access said pages from right here. And then you already understand what mobile means. Then you have basically this, which is versions of the website, which is the one you just edited. These go back and forth, so to undo stuff and to redo stuff. And then these are to hide the settings. And that's it, guys. That's literally everything with websites. Very simple, very straightforward. And it's freaking awesome. And that's all you have to do. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop in and show you how to make your website live, which is adding the domain, which I think is so important. And a lot of people mess up on this. So let's check it out. So we come back to the websites tab under sites. By the way, guys, the funnel builder is the exact same thing as this. Like it's the exact same building blocks just for funnel. So not even going to go over that. But there's multiple different ways you can do this. But you're going to want to come to settings. And then right here, you're going to want to click add domain. So what you have to do is you first have to add said domain to your sub account. So you can come in here to add edit domains or go to settings and find it. But we'll hop right in here to show you how it's done. But what you'll do is you'll come right in domains. You'll click add domain. And then you're going to paste your domain in here. Okay, so let's just do matchremounts.com. Continue. By the way, this is not going to work because it's already connected, so I'm just getting you the idea of how this works. And then all you're going to do is click authorize domain, and then it's going to log you into your GoDaddy or whatever you're using, Namehost, HostGator, Bluehost, and you'll plug in and you'll just click accept, and then you'll have everything, and then your domain will appear right down here. It's as simple as that. I want to say though, real quick, use GoDaddy. They have the best support and they're the fastest DNS updates, and they propagate the fastest. Just use them, please. I see so many of you guys using these other ones, and it's just like, just don't do it. It's horrible. It's just a waste of time. Their support sucks. This is a big pet peeve of mine. I see a lot of people doing it. It's like, oh my God. But right here too, we'll come back. If you're having trouble adding said domain through your user, you can add record manually, where you will just copy and paste this into the GoDaddy or whatever you're using, the DNS record, so it propagates properly, and then your site is live. And that's it. You're done. That's basically an entire masterclass on websites, guys. It's that easy. And I highly recommend, if you're having trouble, watch the video again. But more than that, guys, go get your hands dirty. The only way to learn with this stuff is actually doing it. Otherwise, it's whatever. It's not going to be that great. So you really want to make sure that you get hands-on and really learn this stuff, because that's how you become an absolute G with website design. But that's it, guys. By the way, please, from the bottom of my heart, subscribe. If you are looking into high level and you are interested and you want to build unlimited websites, I have a 30-day free trial down below. You can sign up for free, try it out. Also, if you are more interested in really learning high level and making money with this the right way, I do have a free partnership opportunity with you where I will show you all this. You will learn it. You'll master it. You learn how the sales side to sell people, make a bunch of money. And I have a video on the middle of my channel, the feature page, which goes in depth on what that is, how AI-powered SaaS works. And if you are somebody that works hard and is interested in actually making money online and not getting rich quick, check that out. But other than that, Go High Level Wizard thanks you from the bottom of his heart. Please keep watching my videos. Anything else you had, drop a comment down below if you have questions. And just like that, you guys now will know how to build websites, and that is one more skill you have to get you this much closer to making money online. Go High Level Wizard, out.